Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? It is Tuesday, March the 6th, 7:30 in the morning, and we're going to talk about NEO. This one has been heavily requested, so I think it's about time that we take a look at it. Let's talk about NEO's market cap first of all at $6.8 billion. Ranked number 7th, not bad. It's been fighting with Stellar for a few days now. Let's take a look at the volume as well. What we notice about the volume, historical data, is that for example, in the past 3 days prior to yesterday, we were doing under $200 million. But now we were picking it up to $212 million. Today it's already averaging $232 million. Not too shabby whatsoever. So I do feel like we're reaching some very, very oversold zones right now. And the market is getting generally interested in it. So let's take a look at the charts. Oops. Yeah, you guys didn't see that. Sorry, I got really distracted there for a moment. Anyways, I ordered a passport. I've got a bunch of friends that are in Thailand, and I'm renewing my passport right now, and I've got a lot of people that want to meet up in Thailand. So I think we're all going there in May. If you guys want to go hang out, come to Thailand in May. I've got so many friends there right now already, and so many people that are packing their bags and getting their passports and stuff ready. So yeah, you guys should come out to Thailand in May. It's going to be fun. I can't see myself around Canada for this year. My plan was to travel and just work remotely from wherever I am, but it hasn't really happened yet because I've been getting sick, and I guess just things keep coming up, right? Like this hat thing as well. I'd be gone by now if it wasn't too, or not gone by now, but the process would have been expedited if that didn't happen. Anyways, let's talk about NEO and what I come to expect in the next few days and weeks with her. So I'm just going to make this bigger. So NEO, guys, if we look on the RSI, what we see is that it's reaching a very good RSI support soon, right around here. If you guys notice, take a look. Right, this is the daily chart right here. We're definitely down ticking. We're closing below the 55 moving average now, but we're finding support right around this region right here. You know, we're at 40 RSI. The RSI support is about 34, right? So a little more ways to go, and I think that we're going to end up uptrending very, very soon, believe it or not. This was a very difficult count to make, and you know what? The way that we can chalk this up is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which ends up making some very weird leading first wave diagonal, which allows overlap, and it's okay for the third wave to be smaller than the fifth wave, because it did make some sort of diagonal pattern like that. And in a leading diagonal, these patterns are entirely acceptable with overlap especially as well. So that's how I'm going to chalk it up to there. And I must have counted something wrong before if I was counting, if I said that there was missing a fifth subwave in there. So let's see where this is going to take us. On the 12-hour chart, we're actually getting very close already to RSI support, if you guys have noticed, right? NEO doesn't really break below this. And last time it broke below this RSI support was all the way back in October when it was first released, and there was all that FUD, if you guys remember. And you know what? I gotta blame Charlie Lee for talking a little bit of FUD. He's probably driving down the market a little bit as well with his tweet talking about the gas and NEO. So of course it wasn't too surprising that this happened as well. I don't know why he would do that. I'm sure there's always legitimate reasons coming from Charlie Lee, but it's something I particularly like to see in the community when someone voices it like that. So another thing that we see is that right here, guys, we're reaching RSI support already on a 6-hour chart. What you guys got to remember is what separates a trader from a bad trader is risk management and also dollar cost averaging techniques, right? I'm going to show you a really good example of how to ladder your buys here. You got to remember that it's not possible for yourselves to buy at the bottom every time and sell at the top every time. It just doesn't happen. Anybody who says they bought at the very bottom every single trade, they're not real traders. They're just talking themselves up, okay? And you guys got to understand that you're not always going to catch the bottom, and it will downtrend, or it may downtrend for a little bit longer before it makes its move up. But what we have to focus on is understanding the risk involved in each trade and how we can actually define the targets so we can set up a setup for us with low risk with low risk and high reward possibilities, right? we have to remember that without risk, there is absolutely no possibility of reward. And we understand these basic concepts in trading, it can actually excel us to the next level of trading. And a lot of people don't even watch my risk management videos. They just care about the ones that has predictions, has targets, right? It doesn't work like that in trading, guys. Like, you have to understand that it's all about risk management. And if you cannot wrap your head around the fact that you need to worry about risk to reward setups every single time you enter a trade, you simply are going to keep losing more money. And that's why 95% of traders fail, is because they can't control their emotions. And because they can't control their emotions, it also implies they don't have some sort of base concept of how to manage their money. Myself, I can't say I ever get emotions involved, nor do I ever FOMO. I'm always very level-headed. Despite how reckless I might seem outside of trading, when it comes to trading, I'm very precise with when I enter and when I exit especially. I understand that for every trade that you make, you have to know and plan well ahead of time before you enter them. Otherwise, you just end up setting yourself up for failure, okay? So let's go over this, and I'm going to talk about this in detail. A lot of people say things to me like, oh, looks like your scenario didn't work out. I don't really care, guys, if it doesn't work out. I lose many trades, but what I do know is that I win over time always. And I know that I win over time always because I'm doing okay for myself, put it that way, well enough to the point where I can focus a lot of my time on teaching you guys now these basic concepts. And I just want to see you guys succeed, okay? So the people that are trying to call me out if I ever do something wrong, you guys take 100 of my trade suggestions and we'll see how profitable you are. You take one or two, maybe you'll be in the loss, right? Maybe you'll be in the negative. But over time, I try to focus on winning and using probabilities by looking for very, very low risk setups with high reward possibilities. And remember once again that without risk, guys, there's absolutely no possibility of reward, okay? So on the 6-hour chart, we're definitely reaching a critical RSI support already. We have downtrended pretty hard, right, since the 27th, from $145 all the way to $103. That's like a 50% loss almost, right? 50% loss, actually 30% loss, we'll see. Pretty big number. Now let's see what else we can talk about. We can talk about the 4-hour chart as well, reaching dangerously oversold zones, guys. We're talking incredibly dangerously oversold zones right now, and that is definitely a signal for people to get interested in it, okay? I'm not saying to buy, guys. I'm saying to watch your eye. Keep your eye on it, and let's deduce this together. Now, you guys need to understand that I don't shill, okay? I don't shill whatever. I talk about pure logic all the time. And I always evaluate things from the perspective of being very unbiased, okay? And I've also said times that I'm not trading until a little bit late in the week or perhaps next week when my security and hardware is all set up, right? And once that's a go, yeah, I'm definitely going to be trading. So right now, I've got to be 100% transparent, guys. I'm not in the trade for NEO whatsoever. This is just for the general public and to show you guys what I would do in these situations. So we need to understand RSI. The basic rules of RSI is that if it's under 30, it is oversold. If it is over 70, it is overbought, right? Make sense? Okay, so would you guys consider buying right now? Think about this question and answer it to yourself. Is it a good time to buy if the RSI on a 3 and 4 hour chart is well under 30? The answer is yes, guys, okay? And I'm going to show you guys how to play this like a professional. I'm going to show you guys how I play this game with NEO all the time. What we have to understand is that Bitcoin is probably on a tear to come down very soon. Probably going to see the lower mid ranges right here. I said that Bitcoin in my previous video will most likely reach somewhere between 10.7 and 10.8 first. And then the next lower region it could reach is anywhere between 10.2 and 10.3, all right? So let's talk about how to play NEO like a boss to make sure you guys come out well ahead, okay? Now, NEO is a very hot coin, as you guys know. It's basically the Chinese Ethereum right now. Yes, it is parabolically moving down right now, okay? But we can take a lot of precautions to prevent ourselves from getting burned, all right? So on the 2 hour chart, we also see it severely so oversold right now, right? In fact, it is reaching the 22 ranges for RSI. On the 1 hour chart, same deal, guys. It's reaching the 22 as well. 45-minute chart is at 23. Also, it's at 27 on the 30-minute chart, right? 27 on the 15-minute chart, 26. It's extremely oversold right now, guys. There's no other way to see that right now, all right? So we can count that, as I mentioned earlier, as waves 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll call this as 4 right here, 4 and 5, all right? We'll do something like that. And now it's definitely parabolically moving down. Since I started this TA, it's actually dropped a few dollars already there, but I'm not too worried. One thing that we should always do, guys, okay, let's say that these 5 waves actually did complete already. We're going to take a look at always do this, guys. Always look at where okay, I'm going to show you guys this first. So if you're taking Fibonacci, you always take your Fibonacci from for wave 2, you always take it for wave 1. For wave 4, you're always taking it for wave 3. But for wave 5, if you guys only take it for wave 5 right here, you are going to be screwed. I assure you of that, okay? Do not only take it for wave 5. What you do is you take it for the entire structure. That would be one of the better things to do right there, okay? Take it for the entire structure right here. All right, now that we have this out of the way, let's check out what this one's at right now. So what we see is that this one's most likely going to be at the 0.5 already, I'm guessing. Perfect. So we have now zipped through this region right here. This was previously, it should have been a support, right? Usually every Fibonacci level will act as a support. So where's the next reasonable support? It would probably be right in the golden zone. The people don't know what the golden zone is, or the golden pocket rather, it's in between the 618 and the 0.65 Fibonacci level. So let's just assume that it could possibly get to there. Would it be worthwhile your guys' time to invest in this? Well, let's see. Let's say that we end up taking a few precautionary measures and we buy. Because once again, we don't know, guys. We have no idea when it's going to bounce, but what we do know is that when it reaches these types of oversold zones, extreme oversold zones rather, it's something that people should generally consider. It doesn't mean that it's going to reverse, right? But what it does mean is that because it is so oversold, there's a chance of it reversing. Now, if we break below this recent swing low right here, this is called a swing low, which basically means the previous position where it acted as a support. So that's a good swing low position, twice actually. When I say twice, I'm talking about once here and once here as well, all right? There we go. And not only that, actually a third time right over here as well. So do you guys see these 3 positions right here that act as a really good swing low? Look, 1, 2, 3. So we have to ask ourselves, well, because it came down to this region before, what price this is, $93, is it possible for it to bounce from there? Yeah, but there's also a chance it's going to bounce well before that already as well, because we're in the oversold zones, right? Like I mentioned, right? So we know for a fact that it is downtrending, and we know for a fact that it's reaching some dangerously oversold zones, and there might be something fundamentally driving this price down. Some people would even argue this is a 5th wave attempt that broke out, right? And it failed. So yeah, that's definitely a possibility as well. Definitely. So now we're going to take into consideration where this could possibly bounce, because we are going to assume that NEO has some big plans, right? And that they do. And we're also going to assume a fairly bullish market as well. Assuming a fairly bullish market is very important for us to adopt this mentality, because if you're not bullish long-term in cryptocurrency, might not be the best place for you to consider trading, because I do believe that a lot of people are extremely bullish in the market. So let's look at the 30-minute chart first of all to see if we're actually getting any type of signs of bullish momentum right now. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, absolutely we are right now. I think a lot of possibilities for this uptrend in the very, very near future. And we're going to go over tons of different possibilities for you guys to understand, okay? So aside doing an actual wave count, just to come down all the way to count it. We're just gonna, I really don't want to do Elliott wave analysis for this particular one. I'd rather do a strategy guide. Think of it like that, okay? So right here is, you know, a possibility. Think of the $100 range as a very strong candidate as well for it to bounce entirely. And also think of this range right here in particular, okay? Right here. Super strong zone, and also the 100 zone as well right now. So let's say that we factor in these two zones in particular. $100 on the penny. Actually, even right now, 103. Okay, 103 is where I would probably consider getting interested in it. And we have to understand, guys, dollar cost averaging is one of the most important skills to learn, okay? Now, if we break below this region right here, we had 1, 2, 3 very strong supports. We don't really have that many support zones coming down. I mean, we got this guy right here as well, right? We got that guy as well as the very last possibility for it to bounce, okay, in this zone right here. So we're going to take a look at these three particular regions right here, all right, guys? And those three regions right now is going to be actually, let's say 4. Right at $100 on those as well. So the first region that we're going to take a look because of these oversold zones is right now where it is, 103. The second one, 100. The third one is going to be 95.50, and the fourth region is going to be about 85.215. Now we are investors looking for the long haul, okay, guys? And we're gonna play all of these different types of scenarios. So make sure that you guys are paying attention very carefully, because I usually don't put into this much detail into it, all right? So let's say that it falls to these particular regions. Now let's pull up my amazing Excel I know you guys love. Now this Excel, I'm not sharing it with anybody. I put in a lot of work into making it, guys. Yeah, if you guys want this Excel, you're gonna have to buy it from me, because I'm not gonna do all the work for everybody. And I sell this Excel for $100. Why? Because I can. I don't like doing all the work for people, to be quite honest. It's been posted everywhere on the internet already for the people that are interested in this Excel. And I just don't like to have to explain myself all the time of directing people to where it is. And it's not a place that I can pin it either. And I don't want to put it on YouTube, simple as that. So if you guys are in this Excel, you can definitely just contact me on Twitter and I'll sell it to you guys for $100. So these are the three zones that I'd like to buy it in, right? 103, 100, 90.5, and also 85.215. And now I'm going to be very diligent with my stop loss. Guys, I'm in this for the long haul, keep in mind, okay? I'm in this for the long haul, and I'm not going to sell NEO until it reaches like a really crazy low point. Probably around $75, I'm guessing. That's where my stop loss is going to be. I know that sounds outrageous, right? I know it sounds outrageous to have my stop loss at $75, but I'm going to explain to you guys why, to me, it's actually worth it to do it at this risk, okay? So let's say that it falls down. Let's say I'm playing with a $20,000 position, we'll just say, okay? So let's say I'm playing actually at 25 here. The reason why you want a ladder as it keeps going down is because you simply don't know when it is going to start uptrending. So you keep ladder buys very slowly in a micro way to anticipate a bounce as it gets closer to that time. And the time is actually getting very close since you know, like it's in the dangerously oversold zones right now, right? So let's say that you wanted to play with a position total of about, I don't know, 20K. And as it keeps going down, you would want to buy more and more, right? So let's just say we did something like this right here, right? Where you bought 25 now, and then you bought 50 on the way down. And then actually, let's make this one 50 again and 75 for the very final one. Now, if it does end up bouncing, from regardless of where your average is, you can always add more to your position by buying on strength. You got to remember that. Whenever I do these types of dollar cost averaging for the public, people always say, oh, it never got to that range. I missed out on my chance. No, guys, you have to understand very thoroughly that you add more on strength once you confirm an uptrend, okay? So let's just say, actually, $75 might have been a little bit extreme, all right? Let's just say we end up going for about $80 right here. And then what we end up getting is our purchase price here, 7056, which is actually really good, guys. Okay, so let's say it actually got down all the way to even 85. Actually, you know what? Let's scratch this out for now. Let's just say $95, okay, that it got down to. And we got here, just to be more realistic, where it gets to the golden pocket. Let's just keep this scenario on the table first, all right? And then my stop loss would probably be not $80, I'd probably say $90, okay? Slightly below the golden ratio zone. So 90, where was it again? $90, slightly below the golden pocket. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that, $90. Because this one right here actually reached about 93. So yeah, so $90 is where we're going to keep that particular zone right there, all right? So now we actually averaged out our costs where we bought some even now, which is at 103. Just a little bit though. And then if it falls a little bit lower, we'll add more to our position since we are bullish and we expect to bounce. So now we're looking at about 50 more that we added at 100. Now let's say it falls down even more to that golden pocket zone that I was talking about, 75. So I've now literally doubled up on my position, and I get a position size of $9.25, right? So where would my target be now that my average is 98.25? Okay, let's go to this and assume the worst case scenario where it fall to the golden pot zone right there around $95, okay? So what we would do is we would assume the worst case scenario, be pessimistic. Assume the worst case scenario. I'm just going to move this over here since we know where it is. Assume the worst case scenario and say that, okay, well, it probably do a dead cat bounce. Dead cat bounce is basically, we'll say the 382 Fibonacci level right here, okay? 382 Fibonacci level where it's going to go up to $114 because everything is so oversold right now. So let's say it ended up going there. What we would do is we would take our long position from right here, but we know that our average price is at $98.25, okay? $98.25, which will change into here, 98.25, right? Now, that's our average price considering we bought it at 103, we bought it at 100, and we actually doubled up position size when it got a little bit lower. So now my stop loss, as I mentioned, about $90, okay? And my target would be 1450, right? 14.526, right there. It's actually a decent risk to reward, right? Decent reward. We're going to assume that that's the end of the downtrend. So you guys can even go higher. So let's say that our target one right now was 114.56, which we'll put here for 50, whatever it was, okay? And we are playing a position size of 150 right there, okay? Now, our maximum loss based on here right now, based on our $14,637 position size, right, it is about 8.44%, or equal to 1,240. I think to me that's pretty acceptable, right, so far. But what's important to make note of is that we're going to see a trend. I can get even 120.54. So if it got up to 120.54, this is where our target should be, 120.54. And now we get our actual risk to reward scenario right here of 2.7, okay? That's a very good risk to reward setup right now, considering everything is dangerously oversold already right now, as you guys saw me point out. So we got one case scenario where we have a reward here, and we'll have the other scenario as well, where I'm gonna just change this here, 98.50, and was it 98.50? 98.25, 98.25. Okay, this one is gonna be $90 right here. Okay, and then this one was 114.5. So now you got two differences where one risk to reward scenario is 1.97, still pretty darn good to me. And the other one here, this is the pessimistic view that's very conservative, a bound 382. And then there's the other one as well that possibly get up to 0.5, right? That's awesome, guys. That is awesome that actually happens, right? And then there's also another case scenario as well where it can obviously get to even 145 and higher, guys. So this is how I like to think. This is how I like to play, where as it drops down lower and lower, where I think the bottom is incredibly near, I'm going to ladder my buys and take these chances, because we have to remember that without risk, there's absolutely no possibility of reward, right? So now let's say we actually do something like we do a flip a coin scenario, right? Let's say we flip the coin scenario, and we're talking about taking these types of trades every single time, right? So let's just be very hypothetical. Flip a coin scenario over 10 games, okay? Now you're gonna assume a win rate of 50%, a loss rate of 50% as well, right? And your buddy says to you, hey, let's just go to the basic one here where we're using to reward of 2 to 1, okay? Risk to reward 2 to 1 means you can win twice more than you lose in terms of value and quantity. So now let's say you're playing a position size. We're going to use this exact one right here that we've conjured up already, okay? A position size of $14,737, which is rounded up to 1,500, okay? 1,500 we'll round it up to. And if you guys notice, for each win at one point, for each win, if we actually went to the 114.50, I'll just change this one up here. 1.4. You guys, risk is about 1.7 or 2. You can win 16.5%. Okay, let's just say 16% to make it round for myself to do. And then every time you lose, you can lose 8% of 15K. Right? Position size is $15,000. Right? And each time you win, percentage is equal to 16%. Loss percentage is equal to 8%. Right? So for each win, whatever that is, I can't do the math in my head right now. Asian level mathematics is failing me today. Times 0.16, that's $2,400. $400. So then each loss will be half that as well, which is equal to 2,200. Makes sense? Okay. So now, if you have a risk to reward ratio, right? I've got to write that in here. Risk to reward ratio of 2 to 1, and your position size is $15,000, and your win rate or win percentage is 16% of your position size that you could win. Basically what this one says right there, see? 16% and loss 8%, right? And that means each win is basically 16% of 15K, which is 2,400, right? So now if you play over 5 games, so 5 games at 2,400 each is equal to what? I can't do that math in my head right now. 1,000 plus 2 is $12,000, right? It's equal to $12,000 win. Is that right? 10, yeah. And then 5 games at 1,000 loss, right? Each. Sorry, I should probably be more clear. 5 wins, and we have 5 losses at. You know, a lot of these videos, a lot of people don't even watch these kinds of videos. They just want the prediction videos, target videos. I feel really bad for you guys if you guys are not even paying attention to these kinds of video. You guys have no idea how, I'm not saying the videos I'm making are good, but I'm saying that this is golden if you guys don't know what I'm trying to teach you guys, okay? This is the bread and the butter of all successful traders. And I'm teaching you guys it on a very basic level. And when we get to the more advanced stuff, I assure you guys, it's going to blow your mind how well you can use mathematics into your daily trading to be profitable over time. And when you guys keep tracking statistics of yours, and when you keep winning, and when you keep realizing that it's all about the numbers, guys, it's all about the risk to reward. You guys will be so grateful that you guys got this awesome introduction, and you're going to be developing things yourselves and systems that work. So please, please, for the people that actually care about winning, watch these videos of mine. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm incorporating a lot more risk analysis in all of my videos. That's all that I do, guys. The charting stuff that I used to do before and only charting, it's all amateur stuff, to be quite honest, okay? It's honestly all amateur stuff. This is where you guys get to the golden tickets, okay? You guys are going to be so good at risk management, risk analysis down the road, that it's going to blow your mind how productive and how efficient it's going to be incorporated into your day trading. So anyways, that was a little bit of enthusiasm thrown your way. So this now 5 times 1,200, 5,000 plus 1,200, Asian level mathematics, $6,200. That's right there, okay? So now, right? Am I doing my math right? No, that's completely wrong, guys. That's not, that's Asian level mathematics failure. So now, over 10 games, your net profit is equal to total wins, total profit win, your total losses, right? Or total profit, total win dollar minus your total loss dollar, which is over 10 games, is equal to 12,000 minus 6K, right? Is equal to $6,000. So if you think of it like this, okay? Now I know some of you guys are going to probably take this trade, and some of you guys are going to lose it because, I don't know, you can't ladder properly, or who knows, maybe we're all going to lose it together, put it that way. But if you think about what I just wrote here with a flip a coin scenario and a win rate of 50-50, right? And if you take these trade setups 10 times in a row with pretty much these exact statistics and probability, you guys are going to be guaranteed to win. You know what I mean? Because you're going to lose 6K right here over your 10 games, but you're going to win 12K over your 10 games. So why would you not want to even consider these types of setups, right? It is going to be so profitable over time. And I know for a fact that I'm going to take it very soon, probably. If I don't take it, I'll probably get a friend of mine to take it. I'll probably end up getting Val or Mel or someone to take this trade for me. I know that they'll probably end up taking it for me if I ask them, right? Because it's very profitable, so why not? So I just want to give you guys a quick introduction to my specific type of risk analysis that I will be taking here, okay? If it goes down, you guys have seen it right here. I'm going to be posting this screenshot right here. Just an example, right? As an example, if it does go down, right? I'll be posting this exactly. And guys, this is a setup that you definitely want to consider. I'm not shilling whatsoever, but you guys just understand how oversold this is right now. And the people that are selling right now, panic selling, I assure you that they are just panicking right now, okay? And I would never personally let mention go when it's in this extreme over already. If that's very close to profit, best thing to do is just to ladder your buys and do a very risk analysis on it. Now, I do expect it to, you know, if it gets to these lower range in the golden pocket, I do expect it to get to at least 114, right? That'll be a really good target. But if it doesn't even get that low and it only bounces like at the $100, I'd expect it to get to 117, right? If it bounces right here, which we've already gone up $2-3, guys, from this point right here, I expect bounce at least to 119. So it's a win-win scenario. Win-win scenario as long as you know how to ladder your profits, guys. As long as you know how to micromanage your positions. And once again, it is never, ever, ever about buying in one specific position and then hoping and then praying that it goes up. You guys have to know that you'll never catch the bottom. No trader is that good, okay? No matter what. Nobody can ever catch the bottom. We got to make sure that we focus on this dollar cost averaging technique and also using meticulously these types of spreadsheets to do our risk analysis on a basic level, okay? So anyways, I just want to leave you guys with that, with just a small example of what could be done, right? And hopefully you guys take a lot away from videos because they are designed to be very educational for the public. So other than that, guys, I hope you stay cautious. Please take everything I say with a grain of salt always, okay? Because I'm no financial advisor. Right now, I'm a dude with a massive back pain. I went to bed last night to take a nap. You know, I like to sleep in my whatever, no pants on, put it that way. Not naked, but no pants on. Slept for 5 minutes at them off because my back is in so much pain right now. 5 minutes later, I'm like, I am hungry. I'm thirsty. So I sit up on my bed, struggled to put on my pants for 5 minutes, and then I said to myself, you know what? I'm having a no pants party for the rest of the week if my back is gonna be this way. So I just got on my bed, went to the kitchen, you know, just no pants, put that way all. So don't take my advice, guys, like I'm some professional trader, okay? I'm just some regular dude walking around in his underwear all day at home right now, okay? With a little dog that follows me around looking up in my underwear. Luna, why you do that? Why you gotta look up at me like that, little girl? So anyway, she's so sweet, my dog. Okay, anyways, I love you guys, and I love my dog too, and everybody's following me. Good luck if you guys take this, right? Good luck, guys. We've an opportunity already right now. And once we confirm an uptrend, I will absolutely try my best to make a video for you guys as well, okay? So I think there's going to be an uptrend very imminent. It's just a matter of being very patient and making sure you guys understand that this game is all about patience and nobody is ever going to win every single trade. So please take that away from my video always, okay? So other than that, have yourselves a great morning, guys, and I look forward to seeing you more. Bye now.